So, week 3 of NaNoWriMo is behind us. Right now, my project is sitting at about 40K, which is awesome. Pretty thrilled about that. And since I did hand in this past week some contracted work that was slowing my drafting down, I'm actually feeling pretty cautiously optimistic that I can hit 50K by the end of the day Monday. That's my goal anyway. We'll see if it actually pans out. How is your NaNoWriMo going? How about you share in the comments? I'd love to cheer you on. Hope it's going well. So now I'm actually going to quickly go over to the Scrivener walkthrough because this week we're talking about something super important, backing up your work. All right, backing up your work in Scrivener. This is very important. You never want to not back up your work. It's always good to have extra copies just in case something goes wrong or your computer shuts down unexpectedly. Always good to have. And Scrivener has multiple ways of backing up your work. First, Scrivener auto-saves your work every couple of seconds and also when you close a project. So that's one way that automatically is backing up for you. But it's always a good idea to regularly back up your work just to be safe. A couple different ways that it does this. We touched on this briefly a few weeks ago, talking about the snapshot feature, which backs up each individual scrivening. And just as a refresher, to use that, you go over here to the inspector and click on snapshots. And let's go to this one here. And here we go. We have a number of snapshots, which shows every different draft we've had of this book, this particular scrivening, rather, excuse me. So that's one way it does it on a minutia level. And then we can also go over to a larger level, which is right here on Tools, and go to Options. And the first thing you do is look at the saving under General. Save after period of inactivity. I have it set to every 2 seconds. You can change that to wherever you want, but 2 seconds is great because it generally will capture pretty much everything. Personally, I've never lost work in Scrivener, and I've been using it for about 10 years now, actually, almost exactly. I think I started using it in NaNoWriMo in 2010, as a matter of fact. And I've never lost work in Scrivener. And I always have it set to 2 seconds. So highly recommend doing that. Then at the bottom here, there's backup section here, and you have a bunch of different options. I always recommend automatic backups. Keep that box checked. You can back the project on open. I've never done that, but you could if you wanted to. Personally, I like to have it backed up on closing. I find that useful. And that way also, if for some reason it closes unexpectedly, it should save it for you. You can also back up for updating from mobile devices, which is very helpful if you're using Scrivener iOS on your phone or your iPad. I'll make sure I have a backup of that before they sync. I like to save them as a zip file. You can uncheck that if you prefer not to. And I always like to have about 5 different files. I think that's very helpful, and it's not too hard on my hard drive. Take up too much space. You can get up as many to 25 if you'd rather. But I'm going to keep mine on 5. And then you can also choose your backup location. Now this will actually tell you where it is currently backed up. And you can open your backup folder right from here if you'd like to see where they are. But then you can also change this. And that's what I am going to do. Change this because I want this to be in Dropbox. Because Dropbox is a wonderful thing that will also help you keep extra backups. So now I'm changing this to a different folder that's linked to Dropbox. I can see that it did in fact change there. And then I'm going to hit apply. And I'm going to hit OK. And now it should be backed up in Dropbox. Now, one way to check is you can do a manual backup. To do that, you go to File, Backup to, or Backup Now. If you want to do it to a different place, you can do that here. Say Backup Now. And in theory, should, a second here, populate with a new backup. It might take a minute to show up there, but a new backup should show up shortly in that folder. All right, and there we go. Now my backups have appeared in my backup Dropbox folder. So that's how you would back it up to Dropbox, which I highly recommend using some kind of cloud service like Dropbox or iCloud or Ignite or any of those things, as that is very helpful in keeping your work safe and backing it up between computers, your phone, all of those things. I personally, when I first started writing, was using a flash drive to save all of my work on. And because I worked on a computer as well as a desktop, and sometimes if I had to stay late at work, I might sneak a little work on a book there where I wasn't supposed to, or on the way home on a train. So I would use this little flash drive. And then one day my car was broken into and my laptop bag was stolen. My laptop was not in at the time, thankfully. However, my flash drive was. And that was never recovered. So everything on that book was totally lost. Not a great loss to literature. It was not a particularly good book. But yeah, I learned my lesson, that's for sure. So don't do what I did. Back up your work, back it up in the cloud as well, because that keeps your work safe. So now if you want to restore from a backup, what you'll do is navigate to your backup folder. And again, if you don't know where that is, you can find it under the Tools and Options menu, and that'll show you where it is. You can open it right from there. And all you need to do is open one of these. Say, for example, we'll open backup 5 here. And actually, sorry, don't want to open, you want to extract. Extract the folder here. And then you can actually open this as normal. There's your Scrivener project. It saves the entire project. I'm not going to open it right now because I still have it the same one open. But all you have to do is just double click on that, and there's your project, your saved and backed up project. So it's actually pretty easy. It has these features all built in to make sure that you can keep your work, keep it safe and secure, and not lose it. So lots of cool features for backing up in Scrivener. Hope you found that helpful. And I will see you next week with some more Scrivener tips and last week of Nano. Good luck.